The 2023 NFL Draft is in the books, but there's no reason to not subscribe now because we're going to continue to hit you guys with daily videos, the latest Bears news, rumors. Help us get to 66,000 subs. Can we get to 66,000 subscribers on this Bears video? I think you can. Help us out. Hit that sub button. We'll have a live show on Tuesday as well. Also, tomorrow, undrafted free agent target or tracker and potential targets. We'll have you covered for all of it as more news continues to drop. Let's hand out some Bears draft grades for the 2023 NFL Draft. I'm Harrison Graham. You're watching Chicago Bears Now. Like I said, the 2023 NFL Draft has wrapped up, so it is time to hand out some Bears draft grades. I'll hand out an overall grade for Ryan Poles and the team at the end of the video, but let's go pick by pick, go all the way back to Thursday night. It feels like an eternity ago at this point. Darnell Wright, the Bears traded down from 9 to 10 to land the offensive tackle out of Tennessee. In the weeks leading up to the draft, he was heavily linked to Chicago. Ryan Poles clearly fell in love with this kid. Some people wanted them to draft Jalen Carter, but I think it became pretty clear that the Bears were never going to draft Carter. I don't think he was even on their board. You look at the scouting report for Wright, big jump in 2022 when he went back from left tackle to right tackle. Penalties decreased, which was nice to see. Size, physicality, athleticism, all things that stand out for Darnell Wright. The run blocking tape isn't awesome, but there is some good tape there. And remember, Tennessee ran a, kind of this gimmicky offense where they threw the ball a ton, wide hashes. So I think he's going to be a better run blocker than we think right away in the NFL. Dane Brugler had this to say about Darnell Wright, that Wright gets him himself into trouble when he sacrifices technique for his nasty demeanor, but he naturally defaults to his raw power and body control to consistently win in both the run and passing game. He is a plug-and-play right tackle, and some teams have him on their draft board as a starting guard. Obviously a tackle for Chicago. B-plus grade for me. I love the pick. It's solid. It's not like oh my God, this is the greatest pick of all time in terms of value and sexiness and electricity and all that. B-plus, really good pick. He's a plug-and-play right tackle. He's going to help this offensive line. He's going to help Justin Fields. That's what 2023 is about. Getting this guy the best chance to succeed and show this franchise that he is the guy. B-plus for Darnell Wright. I like the selection overall by the Chicago Bears. Let's go to day 2 now. Gervon Dexter Sr., the defensive lineman out of Florida. I thought, for me, it was a little bit early. I'm not going to say it's some massive reach. He was a guy that I probably would have taken in the 3rd round. You took him, mid, late 2nd round, so it's not like some egregious pick here. It certainly fills a need, which is nice to see as well. The biggest issue with Dexter is not talent. It's not athleticism. He's got all of those things. The traits are there. It's the production at Florida was just kind of middling. It just never really stood out. Here's what I do like, though. Very durable. I don't think he missed a game in his entire college career, which is pretty rare for a defensive lineman. Ryan Poles, I think what makes this pick a little better, just from a raw reaction initially that I had, is Ryan Poles said the way they use Dexter at Florida is not how they're going to use him here. I won't get into the specifics of that. Basically, he said at Florida they used him more as a read and react guy, but they're going to use him more as a one gap in Chicago. So they view that as a better fit. I'll keep my grade as my initial reaction as a C. It's not a great pick. It's not a bad pick. It's average. If he reaches his potential, this grade shoots up because 6'6", 313, 4.88 in the 40. I mean, the athletic traits are excellent. I mean, he's got the potential. He's gotten some Chris Jones comps because he played a similar role in a similar defense in college. That would be unreal if he reached Chris Jones' potential. Potential's just a word. You got to reach it, right? And he has not done that up to this point, but I think he's got the ability to do so. C grade, we'll see how it plays out. Trade alert before the next selection. The Bears moved up from 61 to 56. They also gave up 136, their 5th round pick there, to go up and get Tyrique Stevenson. There's a strong argument to be had here that this is the best value pick that you got in this draft. There's a guy coming up later that could fit that same billing, but Tyrique Stevenson, to me, was a top 40 pick that fell to your lap in 56. Didn't fall in your lap. Ryan Poles had to go up and get him from 61, and I think he deserves credit for that. Really athletic corner, good size. He plays with swagger, and he's scrappy as hell, man. I mean, this guy is someone you want on your side when you get in a fight. I mean, he's not going to back down from anybody. At times, the tackling wasn't great, but I just like how he's willing to mix it up with receivers. He's going to get in your face, talk that smack. I want that edge out of my corners in the NFL, and he's got it. This is an A grade for me. I'm bullish on Tyrique Stevenson. I think he's a plug-and-play outside corner. I think he'll start opposite of Jalen Johnson. Kyler Gordon will play in the nickel. If Gordon develops, takes another step this year, starts how he finished last year, I thought he played really good the last month of the season, and Stevenson comes in and plays like a starting caliber player, your secondary is in a great spot with Eddie Jackson and Jaquan Brisker playing that safety spot as well. A grade for Tyrique Stevenson. What was your favorite Bears draft pick? If you had to pick one guy, we got a lot more to get to, so if you're like, I can't remember all the picks, you can save your answer for then and then comment it below. But you got Darnell Wright, you got Tyrique Stevenson, you got a lot of picks to come. Let me know, what was your favorite Chicago Bears pick? Today's show sponsored by ZBiotics. Let's face it, you guys have been hitting me with a ton of super chats the last 3 days, and if it wasn't for ZBiotics, I'm not sure I would have made it to day 3, I'll be honest. Their pre-alcoholic probiotic is the world's first genetically engineered probiotic. It was invented by PhD scientists to tackle rough mornings after drinking. Here's how it works. When you drink, alcohol gets converted into a toxic byproduct in the gut. It's this byproduct, not dehydration, that's to blame for your rough next day. ZBiotics produces an enzyme to break this byproduct down. It's designed to work like your liver, but in your gut where you need it most. So drink ZBiotics before drinking alcohol, drink responsibly, and then get a good night's sleep, and you're going to be feeling your best tomorrow. ZBiotics has been a life changer, game saver over the last couple of days, and you guys should go try it as well. ZBiotics.com/chatsports. Get 15% off your first order with code CHATSPORTS. They're backed with 100% money back guaranteed. If you're unsatisfied for any reason, let them know. They will refund your money, no questions asked. Take a ZBiotics shot, comes in a little vial. Have some fun, have some drinks, and then you're going to be feeling good the next day after a good night's sleep. ZBiotics.com/chatsports. Code CHATSPORTS. Link and code in the comments. Get that 15% off. All right, Zacch Pickens, round 3, pick number 64. To me, this is very similar to the Gervon Dexter pick, where you understand where Poles' mindset is. And this kind of was a theme throughout the draft. Length, athleticism, upside. You know, I would have probably preferred someone with a little bit more production with one of these picks, but I understand the intrigue, and clearly these guys were high on their board, because if these guys reach their potential, they can be studs in the NFL. And Pickens does not lack confidence at all. He said, I think I'm going to be a much better pro in college. I think he hinted at not being utilized properly at South Carolina. 6'4", 291. I think he projects as a 3-tech if he can reach his full potential. Dane Brugler had this to say about Pickens, that he must continue to hone his hand techniques as a rusher and anchor in the run game, but he plays on his feet with the agility, balance, and length to instinctively react to blockers. He projects as a rotational tackle as a rookie with starting upside. I'll go C+ here. I like this pick a little bit more. It's 11 picks later, so the value is a little better in my opinion. And if he can be that 3-tech, where Dexter could be as well, but I think Pickens projects more as that, he could change this defense, because Matt Eberflus talks about the importance of that 3-tech spot. And let me be clear, you don't need a superstar there. You just need a good player. If Pickens can be that can help the rest of the defense go. Poles also talked about Pickens and Dexter's interchangeability at both DC spots. I like that quite a bit. All right, let's shift to day 3 of the NFL draft here. We'll spend a decent amount of time on some of these guys, not as much time on others. Roschon Johnson, running back out of Texas. Just from a I like it standpoint, one of my favorite picks in the entire NFL draft, not just for the Chicago Bears. Roschon Johnson has a great story. He was a dual threat quarterback out of high school, committed to Texas as a 4-star, 3 running backs got hurt his freshman year, so the coaching staff said, hey, you want to play a little running back for us? Get on the field early. He was probably going to redshirt that year. Selfless teammate, switched to running back. He probably was thinking, oh, I'll shift back to quarterback at some point. That never happened. He stayed at the running back position. He's a good pass protector, which the Bears needed a back that can do that, especially after losing David Montgomery. Catches the ball well. Good power, can break tackles. And I read a story from ESPN's Courtney Cronin talking about the scout in the Southwest Division for the Bears. Big 12 and SEC recruiter, said that Roschon Johnson is the highest character player he's ever scouted, and he got emotional when the Bears made this pick. Love it. Top 100 guy on our board. You get him in the 4th round at really, really good value. B-plus grade for me. Running back's not a premium position, but I think adding a guy on day 3 made a lot of sense, and Roschon was right in there with a grouping of guys like Chase Brown, Zach Evans, guys I would have taken in this range. And I like that the Bears went ahead and added a kid like Johnson. I think he's going to be a guy, a leader right away, a potential pillar of this organization that the scout said as well. Maybe the best overall value pick in the draft right here. Tyler Scott. I mentioned it with Tyrique Stevenson. It's probably even more here as well. Tyler Scott was a top 60 player on our big board. And if you don't trust our big board, if you want more, Dane Brugler had him as a 2nd-round grade, his number 7 overall receiver as well, same as Tom Downey's. You get him late in the 4th round at number 133 overall. Maybe teams are concerned about him shifting from running back to receiver in the last couple of years. He's still learning the position a little bit, but this guy is fun as hell. Put up some good numbers last year for Cincinnati. Almost 17 yards a catch, 9 touchdowns. You want this for a freaky stat? Every receiving touchdown in his career, when you average it all up, 44.6 yards per touchdown. That is an absolutely ridiculous stat. There is no one else in this draft that can say anything like that. But I think he can play some slot. He might be able to play a little outside jet sweep action. A grade for me. What does it mean for Velus Jones? I don't think Velus Jones is going to get cut or anything, but he's got to earn his keep. Velus Jones struggled as a rookie. Tyler Scott, if I'm Tyler Scott, I'm licking my chops. I'm trying to take Velus Jones' job. A lot of competition at receiver, and that's going to be very, very fun to see. A grade, love the pick. Noah Sewell, the linebacker out of Oregon, the younger brother of Penei Sewell, who, of course, is a stud right tackle with the Detroit Lions. Interesting kind of path for Sewell. 2020 as a freshman linebacker for the Ducks. Came onto the scene and was awesome. And it's kind of just been the same ever since. You thought, okay, this guy's on a high trajectory. This guy could be a 1st-round pick, and he kind of flatlined. He's still a good player, don't get me wrong. 55 tackles, 2 sacks. Kind of struggles in coverage, especially this past year, which is not the best, but he's a thumper. He's physical. I think he's a guy who can rotate in as a rookie in the run game, run stop, and I think that's been a focus for the Bears this offseason. You add Tremaine Edmonds. You add T.J. Edwards. You add a couple of defensive linemen in this draft. Now you go get Noah Sewell. You got to stop the run. I mean, you're not going to fix everything in one offseason. Something that stands out about this draft is Ryan Poles didn't draft an edge rusher, but you can't force a pick either. Get Noah Sewell. C+ for me. I thought the Bears addressed this spot pretty heavily in free agency with real money to Edwards and Edmonds. You've got Sanborn, but maybe Sewell competes with Sanborn. He's certainly more talented in terms of raw talent. At worst, he's a backup linebacker with some special teams value. I think in round 5, the value is pretty good. C+, don't love it. Certainly don't dislike it, though. I think it's a decent pick. What was your least favorite Bears pick? I know some people would say, why are you drafting a linebacker? So maybe some of you guys don't love the Noah Sewell pick. Maybe you didn't like the Gervon Dexter or Zacch Pickens pick. Let me know, what was your least favorite Bears pick? Few more to go here. Terell Smith, the cornerback out of Minnesota. He wasn't super on my radar, especially after Tyrique Stevenson got drafted on day 2. But when I saw the traits after they selected him, I was like, okay, this makes sense. This is a classic Poles pick. I mean, through 2 drafts now, you see a trend. I mean, he likes guys with good relative athletic score, long, athletic, physical. Terell Smith has all that. He's over 6'1.5". over 200 pounds. He can play press. Had some injuries in college, which has led him to playing college football longer. He's 24 years old. Still a little bit raw. Technique needs to improve, but number 132 player on our board. Dane Brugler also had a 4th-round grade on him. You get him late in the 5th. I think the value is pretty good, and he can compete for kind of that CB4 role, I would guess, as a rookie with guys like Josh Blackwell and Jalen Jones. I think the selection of Terell Smith is pretty darn good overall. I'm going to give it a B grade, solid. Had they not taken a corner up to this point, it would probably be higher because I think taking a corner in this draft was critical, but considering they had already taken Stevenson, I'll lower it just a hair. I probably would have gone B+, had not. I'll give it a B. Gives you quality depth on the back end. Not the biggest need at the time, but this was probably a best player available situation. Travis Bell, the defensive tackle out of Kennesaw State. Sorry, Travis, we did not have your photo on our database, so we had to add this one of you real quick. Coming out of an HBCU. 6'1", 310, so he's just a bowling ball. I would guess this is a bit of a project, potential practice squad guy, but I saw a quote from him after he got drafted of talking about his motor. He says he's going to be sprinting sideline to sideline. He's got a good motor, so maybe Flus saw something in the hits principle here. He was not on our radar in terms of being draftable, but it's round 7. There's no such thing as a bad pick. I'll give this a C grade for Travis Bell, 7th round. You can't fail a pick in the 7th round. I would say, I don't have a percentage data in front of me, but at least 50% of 7th-round picks don't even make the 53-man roster. So if he's a practice squad stash, it's probably a successful pick. Kendall Williamson, the second-to-last pick in the NFL draft before Mr. Irrelevant, went to the Los Angeles Rams. Kendall Williamson here, safety out of Stanford. B- for me. Traits are good. 6 foot and a half, ran a 4.4 in the, I think 4.44, 4.43 in the 40-yard dash. This is like, hey, come compete with Elijah Hicks, right? 7th-round safety pick last year, 7th-round safety pick this year out of Stanford. Compete for a roster spot with Elijah Hicks to be this team's 4th safety. You probably still need to add a 3rd safety in free agency, probably bring back DeAndre Houston Carson, but maybe they feel like Williamson and Hicks can hold that down. We'll just have to wait and see. B-, good physical traits, just a bit raw in terms of his coverage ability. So there you have it. Grade the Bears 2023 NFL Draft as a whole. A, B, C, D, or F. I told you guys at the end of the video that I would give it an overall grade, and I'm not going to lie, Rolly's kind of screwing me here. He's kind of screwing me with my overall draft grade. He's going to fix it here. I can see the next graphic coming up. I'm guessing that's what Downey did for the overall grade here. Drop a letter grade. I'm going to give it a B. It initially said B-. I like a B. There's some really good picks. Darnell Wright, Tyrique Stevenson, Tyler Scott, Roschon Johnson. I love all those grades. Higher than a B. You know, the Dexter Pickens pick, if at least one of those guys works out, this goes up. Sewell, I gave a C+. I think you average it all out. Solid B for Ryan Poles. There's a clear theme. He wants really long and really athletic players. For the most part, that's what he did. Tyler Scott's not long, but he's freaky athletic. He's super fast, gives you another weapon on offense. So B grade for me. Drop your letter grade down in the comments and subscribe to the channel. Listen, the support you guys have given us this weekend, clap it up. Producer Rolly behind the scenes. Type Rolly in the chat. He's been a warrior this weekend. You guys have been awesome. People who are sending in super chats, hanging out with us, new subscribers. I encourage you guys to check out more content. Again, we'll have a video tomorrow, undrafted free agent tracker, all the Bears UDFA signings. So we will cover that on the channel as well. Bear down. We'll see you guys soon.